wherever or whenever. It's Big Victories.
You could bet it all on me. Anything that I do it B.I.G. Shot callers, so they call on me. If my dogs don't eat, then they fall on me. It's the ice on the wrist for me. I'm living life like it's meant to be. Lived everyday shit, everything big. Big crib, big bands, nigga, it's a big victory.
Welcome to another edition of the Big Victories podcast. Jeremy St. Louis alongside Big Vic. I was repping the brand today, thinking that Vic would be doing the same, but apparently we weren't on the same page. So
no, what had happened was that one of my close high school buddy, he started a clothing line because his best friend passed away.
Okay.
And they used to hang out all the time. It's called 3 L's.
Okay.
And long story off, Anthony Simmons. I am wearing the shirt you sent me.
Okay.
So I took off my brand and put on your brand. So you know it's real, my brother.
Now I seem like a jerk because I'm wearing the brand.
No, stop that, man.
All right, let's get into it because we have a couple of guests here that are waiting, and I'm going to introduce Anthony Mosely, better known as A.B. Money, one of the top producers in hip-hop and a guy who has an absolutely incredible story that goes way back to when I was trying to even breakdance a little bit.
A little bit?
A.B. Money was making it happen. Yeah, just imagine that, okay? Just imagine me, all right? This skinny Canadian boy in a small town trying to breakdance on a piece of cardboard. It didn't work. It was terrible. I'm glad that I found something else. But anyways, AB Money, it's good to have you on the podcast. How are you, man?
Oh, man, I'm truly blessed, man. I'm blessed to be here, brother, man. And I wanted to say I love what y'all doing. You know what I mean? And y'all keep the good work up because people like us need people like y'all to get across our stories and stuff like that. And, man, I'm truly blessed to be in here, brother.
Daily inspiration for us. I mean, we love doing this and love hearing people's stories. We always leave this podcast so charged up about, just good stories. You want to hear good things with everything that's going on in the world right now. You want to hear good stories. And that's, that was why this guy started up this podcast, because he wanted to hear good stories.
I started a podcast. I know I could get you. To be
No.
honest with you. I couldn't do this by myself. We can't build the world by ourselves. We got to have a good friends with us. That's the reason I'm good in networking. And, of course, I see, AB, you have somebody else on the top screen with you. I think it's your business partner.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce him?
Yeah, I would like to introduce my man, Caleb. We got a company called OMG. It stands for Organic Medically Grown. And we here to heal the world because of my story, too. I was paralyzed. I had 3 surgeries, man. I was in the hospital for a year. I had a brain surgery and I had 2 lung operations and I was fully paralyzed. So I jumped into a business with my man because we want to heal people, man. We want to get people with the right eating and just telling people my story and stuff like that. So let me make a long story short. I got my boy Caleb in the building. You know what I mean?
Caleb, what's up, man?
Well, it's definitely a pleasure to meet you two gentlemen and to be on your podcast called Big Victory. Certainly, we feel like what we're doing with hemp is a solution and is a big victory that we're hoping to achieve. And so, again, my name is Caleb Prescott. I am I'm a hemp farmer. And I'm co-founder of the company called Organically, Medically Grown. We're a hemp farm located in Oregon, right on the border of Oregon and Washington on the Columbia River. We really love what we're doing. We've been doing cannabis for over a decade and hemp for over 3 years. So over 13 years of combined experience. With dealing with the plant, we grow all organically. So we make our own organic fertilizers. We make our own organic pesticides and stuff like that. And what we've done is we've created a product. And I won't get that much into it. I'm sure we've got plenty of time to talk about it. And I'll bring the product out to show your audience later. But we've created the product called a React powder, which is a nano emulsified technology. It just means it gets in your system really quickly. Once you use it, it's a powder. that you can put in anything from drinks to any food you want. It's very versatile like that. And so I'm really excited to be with you, with you gentlemen, to help share some of this story, because really what this is, it's a medicine intended for daily use. And we're just excited to be able to present this to the world and bring this message out.
Caleb,
so thank you.
I want to ask you something, not cut you off real quick. I want you in 3 seconds, explain to people what is hemp.
3 seconds? What are you talking about?
You got to say hemp in 3 seconds. His 3 seconds might be 10 minutes. I have a friend, when you say 3 seconds, he talk for 10 minutes. So I said 3 seconds. You know, he know what I mean, man. Stop that, Jeremy.
All right. Just saying, I come from television. They say 3 seconds. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, go ahead. What is hemp, Caleb? So people understand the difference between hemp and cannabis itself.
Well, hemp is a strain of cannabis, the cannabis sativa. And what happens is that you have different strains that feature different cannabinoids. And so currently hemp is understood as the cannabis plant that grows and only displays a certain percentage of THC. So it's all cannabis and it all has THC. So it's just that hemp only has a really small percentage of THC, 0.03 is, to be exact, it's what it is. I know for Oregon, I'm not sure whether that is the case federally. But hemp is, it's a legal form of cannabis with a very low percentage of THC in it.
Cool.
So in terms of the market, like obviously we're seeing states that are legalizing it. I come from a country where it is legal. Cannabis, cannabis is legal.
Yeah.
So as that market continues to expand, how has that impacted the way your business has kind of been operating and looking to expand?
Oh, that's a great question. We've actually, I've always looked at it as an opportunity to do interstate commerce and international, to have access to the international marketplace. And this is certainly where the cannabis industry is going to go once we get rid of these restrictions on trading across states and stuff like that. We are on the cutting edge of that, the leading edge of that, because our product, you can be sold anywhere, can be bought anywhere. And so a cannabis company would want to have a product like that in their catalog. They'd want to be able to access not just the users of THC, because with the legalization of hemp, what we're finding out is that this plant can be used by everyone. And so not everyone wants to experience the quote unquote, the getting high that you get through THC, but everyone could benefit, medical benefits, physical benefits, emotional, mental benefits from this plant. So what it's doing is raising the awareness of the importance of this plant and just preparing the minds of people to accept it. But I think what's going to be bigger is hemp and not cannabis, because as I mentioned already, cannabis is only a small slice of the market, whereas the legalization of hemp is intended to give everyone an access to see how they can integrate hemp into their daily use, their daily life, whether that's as a medicine or whether that's in material to make concrete blocks, hempcrete, or steel, or any of the 10,000 other applications that hemp can have.
That's one of the things that is so intriguing about hemp, is the fact that it's not just, it's not just something you can ingest. It's something that can be used to make a number of different products. I mean, we've obviously seen it throughout stores as kind of hemp has become legalized and you start to see it integrated into certain products. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Caleb, was about the education aspect of just the everyday consumer when it comes to hemp. When you hear hemp, you think cannabis, you think if I have hemp, I'm going to get high. Like, how do you go about educating people so that they know that, hey, this is not that cannabis. This is something that's a little bit different, and there are the benefits. Do you find that that's difficult, that's one of the biggest challenges that you have?
I think it used to be a challenge more than it is now today, because I think we're really at this point where I think if you look at the polls and public opinion, you'll see that the public's view of cannabis, it has been getting more and more positive, let's say. And so people are no longer scared by cannabis, and it's no longer such a taboo, because I think the taboo that was placed on it was unwarranted based upon the propaganda and the political sort of maneuvering of certain industries and stuff like that. But I think when the laws change, right now we're at a point where I think there's enough political will to get the laws to change nationwide. And once the laws change nationwide, then I think the general public's attitude will go along with that.
Do you think that? I mean, based on the way that things are going right now, I mean, what we're seeing in terms of the political climate, we're seeing almost a regression of some of our laws, some of the things that are going on, legally. So do you honestly believe that there is that momentum, that cannabis has that momentum in today's political climate, given that we're seeing such extremes politically? We're so divided as a nation. Do you honestly truly believe that cannabis can kind of stem that and make it through the legalization process, despite the fact there are those divisions?
Yes, because I think it's a national security crop. And so it's not just about domestic political divisions and stuff like that. It's about how do nations secure themselves in a national marketplace. And I think hemp has always been a smart way to do that. And so I think, everyone from the highest level of politics to the citizen, we're at a point where we're going to transition into a new economy. It's not just hemp for the pharmaceutical industries; it's hemp for the fuel industry as well, to replace fossil fuels. It's hemp in sustainable agriculture. It's hemp as the world goes into a new phase, into a new economic phase, new economic boom, new opportunity, a new economy, and hemp is going to be there right front and center, no doubt.
Well, I read somewhere, I do read, Jeremy, before you get the comment. Anyway, I read somewhere where cannabis was like the 5th most important crop in the United States right now, right? Meaning, like, you got wheat, rice, and I was surprised to see cannabis on that list as the 5th most important crop. So, getting to AB, I wanted to ask you this question, AB. Hip hop, music in general, has always somewhat, when you're in the studio, majority you walk in the studio, you want to smell something. You know what I mean? It's not always the candle. So to me, I think hip hop, since we talk about hip hop, music and culture itself, I think cannabis and hip hop and music go hands in hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what got you into actually want to get into the company?
What got me is I was paralyzed. I was on probably 65 to 75 different pharmaceuticals.
Wow.
I had 1 brain surgery, 2 lung operations. I had sugar diabetes. I was on insulin. And I was paralyzed all at the same time. I was in the hospital for a year.
Wow.
And I wanted to get out of the pharmaceuticals. And I started understanding about hemp and all of the different things that hemp does for you, because I was always a big marijuana smoker.
Nah, not a producer smoke weed.
Yeah, listen, I got a lot of hit records over them blunts.
Oh yeah.
We gonna get on that.
We saw the wall.
Show them that look again, man. I want to see the back of the wall going from.
Yeah. Let me. I got a lot of these hit records right here.
That's like MTV.
Over that, man.
We doing MTV Crib at the Big Victory podcast.
There we go. Look at this. Yeah.
Look.
I want to see the Tupac one, man. That's what I want to see.
Okay, let me let you see the Tupac joint. This right here sold 10 million copies. This is Diamond.
Jesus.
Wow.
Right here. That's another gold Tupac album. another gold Tupac album, but we can go to regular platinum all the way to Biggie Smalls. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're
Biggie
gonna get to
double
the
platinum
stories, man.
album.
Trust me, we're gonna get into
And
the stories.
just this wall is definitely a classic wall right here, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, this right here, this is blessed, man, to sell 10 million copies, man. Diamond. You know, a lot of people don't get to go diamond, so I went diamond.
So when
You know what I mean?
when you were I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this.
You don't know how to phrase it?
No, I want to say it in a way. I want to say it in a way that is, you know, like I mean, you know, when you were smoking up, okay. When you were before you had all these medical issues kind of pop up for you, did you have any idea about the medical benefits, the you know, other than the mental benefits that you were getting from it? Did you have any idea about the physical benefits that you were able to get from it at that time?
Not really. I know I was just a heavy smoker, and I know it made me do my beats, made me get more deeper into the music. It made me understand, like you know, being creative. You know, a lot of people, like my partner Easy Mo B was talking, and he was saying how I never wrote nothing down. All these songs that I did, I never wrote nothing down. I did them straight from the top.
Stop there. I want to. You got to take claim for something, and I think you know what I'm talking about. A lot of artists say the original person who did that was Jay-Z, who actually and Biggie, who will walk in a studio or say, listen to the beat and walk behind the mic and start spitting it. So you telling me right now, because you came before them. That's right.
I was before them. These dudes, you watch me do this stuff, and I was out before these guys. I was way before these guys,
Yeah.
and I was really the first one that was doing it, brother.
Wow.
So you're looking at the originator, and not only the first one to do that, the first one to also mix singing with hip hop. All these guys like Drake and all these brothers that's doing this singing and rapping, I did it first.
Hey, you got to say that name again because you know he's Canadian. Drake is like the president of Canada.
Drake's an icon. I mean,
he's an icon.
Yeah.
No question. Actually, Drake just used one of my songs.
Oh no! Used. I don't think used is not the right word. Used is not the
right word. Drake's single that's out now is actually a song that I wrote.
Tell him what it is now.
It's called Temptation.
Now give me the harmony. You know that's my favorite song.
I know you've been searching for someone.
Yeah.
To make it happen. Yo, the song that Drake got out now, that's actually me and Easy Mo B and JR song from R.I.F and with Tupac. You know what I mean? So it shows us right there that what we're doing have put a big effect on the world, even to today. So, you know, because this is new single.
My question is to you is this. We're going to get back to that because I want to get Caleb involved in that too in a segment that's coming up. A lot of producers right now would actually say, I did something with Rick Ross, but actually never met Rick Ross. So I think you know what my question is leading to. How does it feel like being in a studio with Tupac at that time, recording that with Biggie? What was? Let's get one story at a time. I want to hear the Tupac story when you were recording Temptation.
Okay. Recording because we did a few songs with Pac. So being in the studio with Pac was different, man, because Pac work ethics was so crazy. Like we would bring a box, not the small box of Dutchess, the big box of Dutchess. And we would go in the studio and Pac would just be in there recording song to song to song. Yo, he quoted Dear Mama on the toilet bowl to me.
Wow.
The nigga was taking the shit. Right?
He thought about his mama.
I was in the room, while I was in the hotel room when he is telling me the lyrics for Dear Mama while he's sitting on the toilet bowl.
Wow.
So when we went in the studio and he did Dear Mama, like I heard that before he even did it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So his work ethics was so crazy. It reminds me of us, like Riff, me, Easy, Mo B, and JR. Like Easy, when he go in there, he concentrating on the beats. We concentrating on the lyrics. We just putting all this stuff together. And Pac was the same way. You know what I'm saying? Pac was the dude that when he come in the studio, he lighten up the blunt. If you listen to Temptation, at the very beginning, he go, "Yo, put your fingers up." He got us throwing up the "fuck you" sign in the studio while he in the booth.
To the police,
And
right?
smoking the blunt.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is rhyming in the booth, smoking out, having fun, and he like talking to, you can hear him talking to us outside the booth on Temptation.
You're listening to the Big Victories Podcast.
This podcast was recorded in Miami Podcast Studios. Call us now for booking 305-968-5366 for all of your video podcasting needs. 305-968-5366.
The Big Victories Podcast, hosted by Big Vic, with co-hosts Mev the Renegade and Jeremy St. Louis.
Every morning that I wake up, say a prayer and thank the maker for the chance.
I mean, everybody who follows music knows the Tupac story and the tragic end. But I wanted to ask you about the man. Everybody knows about, the music and how that's, it's just transcends everything else. But in terms of the man, when you're in that space with him, when you think back to being in that space with him where he's operating, what are you feeling? What are you thinking when you're sitting there seeing that man realize that potential?
You really want to really know? I'm gonna tell y'all some exclusive shit. You got to remember, we was out before him.
We break news here. We break news here, right? I'm a news breaker.
So Tupac always wanted to work with us. Like, we was that group. I remember when he first came up to us in Manhattan. He said, "Yo, man, LA," he said, "LA cats love y'all, man." Because we was the dudes that was first singing and rapping. Being able to rap good and sing good. We was the first dudes to say, when we was doing it, everybody was telling us, "Yo, man, why y'all singing on records, man? Y'all should just rap." We broke, and we called our sound, this doo-hop. That's doo-wop singing, mixing with hip-hop. And we called it doo-hop. That's why I have to tell the Miles Davis story. We always talk about Biggie and Tupac. But you got to remember, we did Miles Davis' whole album.
Miles Davis, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, legends.
Yeah. So
and that one got a Grammy.
And we won a Grammy.
Yeah.
And working with Miles, people always talk about Tupac and Biggie and stuff like that. But, we work with Miles Davis.
Yikes.
You know what I mean? Like, that is, to me, like, I'm in the studio with Miles. It's not like most artists record the song and then they send the song. These guys never be in the studio with these dudes. I'm in the studio with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these dudes are looking up to us because we are the legends and pioneers of this, because we was doing this years before they even thought about it. I won the best album of the year, best group of the year in 1990.
God dang, I was once in high school.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't sound old, but yeah, bro. You've been winning for a long time. You've been winning for a long time.
And then we won our Grammy in 92.
Wow.
So what? Okay, then let's go to Miles. Tell us about Miles. What was it like working with Miles? Because everybody has not, I don't want to say an assumption, but everybody has kind of their own thoughts about Miles and the genius that was Miles Davis. Tell us about Miles.
Miles was, oh my God, man. Miles was like a male Tupac. Let me be real with you. Miles was crazy, man. And that's Miles Davis' album right there. That's the album right there.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Miles was different, man. Miles, you know, if you ever got to see Don Cheetah just played Miles Davis.
Mm.
And Miles, working with Miles, let me just tell you an incident. We're in the studio. You know how most people, when they do music, when somebody mess up, they stop.
Yeah.
You know, then they rewind it back and do it over.
Yeah.
Miles wouldn't do that. He would tell us to continue to play the music. So we looking in the booth, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? He just stopped out of the blue. So we in the booth, we looking through the glass and like, okay. And if you listen to the songs, when you go listen to the doo-wop song, the doo-wop album, he stops. And we like, stop the music. He said, don't stop the music. Don't y'all never stop that music. And we cut it play, he'll be blowing his horn, and then he'll stop. Women will come in the booth and wipe his head, wipe his face off, right? And he would mess with his lips a little bit, mess with the thing, and then come back, start blowing. We like, yo, you wasting studio time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We taking advantage of every minute. Take it back. Bring that up here. Doing that. Miles didn't do that. If you listen, that's why this is one of the we was the last ones to work with Miles. This is one of the greatest albums. And let me just tell you, on this album here, he turned down Quincy Jones and Prince. That's the first time I ever said that.
Wow.
Prince and Quincy Jones.
Say that again, man. That's my favorite
album.
He turned down who?
Prince and Quincy Jones. They had Buster did this album. When we did this first song, the doo-wop song, he came to Easy Mo B and said, listen, I want you to record this whole album.
Wow.
And that's how we got to do Miles' whole album. You know, because Easy, a lot of people don't give my partner props like he's supposed to. And I'm going to get him on this show too.
Definitely got to get Easy Mo B on here.
He is one of the greatest brothers that ever hit them drum machines, man. And I was a big part of helping. I remember, I'm going to tell you a story about Big Daddy Kane, because I worked with Big Daddy Kane. That's another legend that I did a lot of stuff. I did a lot of stuff with is Big Daddy Kane. And Big Daddy Kane is the one who actually gave us our break. Kane is the one who gave me the money to take Easy Mo B and JR in the studio.
Wow. That's big.
You know what I mean? So Kane is all these platinum albums that I got, man, I got to give it up for Big Daddy Kane, because Kane is the one who gave us the first introduction to the business.
It was Big Daddy Kane, Understanding, and you, right? The Debonair 3, right?
Yep. Oh, you've been doing your studies, brother.
That's what I got him here for. Because I don't do shit.
You've been doing your studies, brother. Yeah, me, Big Daddy Kane, and Understanding had a group called the Debonair 3. And Kane talks about it a lot too, man. And Kane, when Kane got his big break, Kane came back to me and gave me, I think it was like close to $2,000 or $3,000. So I took Easy Mo B into the studio, first time, never been in the studio before. And we went in the studio and recorded a song called Ain't No Smoke Without Fire. Kane featured on it. I took it back to my homeboy. My homeboy gave me $350,000.
Oof.
Back then, $350,000 a million.
That goes a long way.
That's a long way. And that's when I told Easy Mo B and JR, quit your jobs. And that's how all this stuff happened in the music business. Because I took the initiative to go to Kane, get Kane to give me the finances to go in the studio for me to take it to my homeboy Sudan, and Sudan gave me $350,000. And that's how you see all them plaques on the wall.
And you paid Kane back, obviously.
Kane paid Kane back, and I gave my man back. He made $600 and something $1,000. He doubled his money off of us because we got signed to A&M Records.
Wow. Awesome. Wow. That's a big victory right there.
Yeah, that is.
I just told y'all a classic story now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to get back to the point where let's get back. What got you involved with music? Like, when did you realize and say, you know what, I can do this as a career?
I was one of the best dancers in New York, and I'm going to say it one more time.
Nah, you can. Hey, now.
Hey, I was one of the best dancers in New York. I was known as battling everybody in the streets. I was a street battler. I would battle people from California. I would battle people from all boroughs in New York and destroy these dudes. So people knew me from dancing. They knew that some type of success was going to come out of me. So what got me into the music part is I was a dancer. I was battling everybody, and one day I was in a lobby and I heard these four kids singing. So I come to the lobby. I had never sung a note in my life. So they looked at me and asked me, "Can I sing?" I said, "Yeah, I can sing."
Yeah.
So they told me to come over there and sing with them. So what they would do is put me on the bass. So I would be on the bass talking about boom bappa yip yip boom bappa. Right? And they would come in with the harmonies, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell is they doing?" I loved this. And it was this brother named Lonzel in Rome that got me really started as far as with bringing the singing part into hip hop. But Big Daddy Kane, me and Big Daddy Kane, and understanding, we was always rapping, and it was one of my good friends today. It was Grandmaster Cash from the Cold Crush Brothers. He was a big influence with this brother named Stevie D and Jeffrey D. Wow. Jeffrey D and Stevie D was the most biggest influence on me doing hip hop, man. These brothers was doing it in the parks back in the early 70s, and I would be in the park looking at these brothers behind a rope, and these brothers is like looking at me like, man, this dude is going to do something, man. And I talk to these brothers to today. I'm still really good friends. I talk to them on the phone. All these legends before me that said, we knew you was going to make it, brother, because I studied from the top brothers in the music business. I was the student to all of them. And that's what made me want to do it. And I ended up combining two sounds, that singing and rapping, when nobody told us to do it. Nobody was doing it. Nobody. And we was the brothers that said, yo, we're going to come and do something different. And we brought that whole doo-wop sound to hip hop, and we called it doo-hop.
This is the Big Victories podcast. Jeremy St. Louis alongside Big Vic. We're also here with A.B. Money, platinum artist, producer, and hip-hop pioneer, filling us in on some of the stories of his legendary career, which spans back into the 1980s when he was the best dancer in New York City.
Let's get it right. Let's get it right.
You got a skinny Canadian kid who thought he can do something too.
I couldn't do anything.
Damn. Yeah, I'm trying to boost you up your head like,
and now involved in hemp and cannabis and, organics to kind of make the world a healthier place, which is certainly something that we all need. Caleb, I want to get back to you here for a second because I want to ask you about the crossover between what you do and the music business. Can you quantify that? Can you explain the kind of influence that music has had on kind of the growth of your product and your industry?
Great question. I think it was Peter Tosh who said, "Legalize it, and I will advertise it." Yeah. So we're blessed. Truly blessed to be in.
Caleb do music too. Also, he do music too.
Yeah, Caleb look like an artist.
We're blessed to be in a time where marijuana, cannabis it's front and center, and it's now becoming completely mainstream. We were always at the forefront of promoting cannabis and music. Everyone knows cannabis and music go together. It's the inspiration for all of the songs. That's the hit songs on the radio. Everybody knows that. It's a plant of renown, and many of us have gone to jail over it.
Yeah,
and proudly defend. It was almost a badge of honor, to the people who were really in defense and in promotion of this plant. So they've always gone together, and I've always loved music as well. And I remember when I first heard, it's Juicy? Is it Juicy? I remember when I first heard that track, I was at a party, I was in high school, and I went to a party in Delaware, at Delaware College. No, Delaware University. And they had a big frat party, huge speakers up on the stage, and they dropped that beat.
You went crazy.
Yeah, so, and years later, after meeting A.B. and recounting that story to him about how mind-blowing that piece of music was, that to me at that moment, just in awe of how did they come up with this, so, and I'm sure Cannabis was part of that. It's just been our plant of celebration, of creativity, and it's so awesome to see that the world has finally made it something normal, so that we can use it responsibly now, and not have to sort of suffer the sort of tragedies that we had when the plant was illegal.
Wherever or whenever, it's Big Victory.
This podcast was recorded in Miami Podcast Studios. Call us now for booking 305-968-5366 for all of your video podcasting needs. 305-968-5366.
We're back with the Big Victories podcast. Here's your host, Big Vic, for real, with co-hosts Mev the Renegade and Jeremy St. Louis.
You make a great point in that there are people who have given significant portions of their lives in the correctional system in usage of that plant, and for nothing other than just using it for whatever, creative influence, pain mitigation, whatever at that particular time. So I want to ask about because we often hear about the way that I'm kind of just going about this. Excuse me if it comes out a little bit convoluted, but we think about the pharmaceutical industry and how, you hear the president talking about how, like a drug like insulin, for example, AB is it's costing families, whatever it is, $300-400 a month, and in another country it's $12. And how the pharmaceutical companies in the United States need to, they need to stop gouging people. Essentially, they need to make drugs affordable, and they need to make. Is there a situation where, is there a battle between the pharmaceutical industry and the hemp cannabis industry to kind of keep things affordable at the same time being able to help people that grow, people that sell, make a decent living doing it without gouging the consumers? Do you feel that the price point at this point in time is where it needs to be? And is there a battle with pharmaceutical companies who want to kind of bring in that to kind of make sure that they're not taking advantage of consumers?
Yeah, I don't think there isn't much of a competition at this point, because really the pharmaceuticals are in the position of a monopoly in the industry so far. But once it becomes legal, there'll be more competition, and that stuff will work itself out. Farmers are going to have to figure out how to get their crops and products up to economies of scale, and whether that means through working, cooperatively with other farmers in order to bring the volume up, in order to get the price up to where it needs to be, or get it down where it needs to be affordable to the consumers. I think these are general market things that'll work out once the industry gets legalized.
Okay.
So, getting to you, AB.
Hold on, real quick. When people get a chance, go to votebestdoctor.com. Votebestdoctor.com. That's I created an award show called the Motivate Awards for Medical Excellence. And what I'm doing is, from what I went through, I'm gonna be one of the first brothers to get the pharmaceutical companies and get the hemp people in the same room.
Okay.
And the name of my award show is called the Motivator Awards for Medical Excellence.
When is
my
it being
website, we working on it now with Rob, our boy
held?
Rob.
Rob,
We're working on it with him now. You're going to be able to get to see all these people in the same room. And my website is called votebestdoctor.com. And people would definitely get to see exactly what I'm talking about. They're going to hear my story. I got Snoop involved with it he did the title song on it called Motivate. And people can get to see exactly what we're trying to do to take this whole hemp business to another level.
Well, and you talk about a guy who's at the forefront of cannabis and music. It's Snoop. I mean, he's made a living off of it. He's a guy who's been able to make a living off of it. And everybody knows. Snoop is, gin and juice and the whole, like
he
it's
was in the
all
White
about
House
that.
bathroom smoking.
Exactly.
So getting back to the music part, right? AB.
Yeah.
What would you tell a young producer right now the right way of to be one of the greatest producers ever been created? What would be some of your advice?
My advice to them is stay original, man. Stop copying off of what people doing and do you. Go into your creative cap and say, listen to what's going on with everybody and say, I'm not going to do that. You see how I created my own sound called the doo-wop sound?
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something about the doo-wop sound. I did an album with Miles Davis called the doo-wop song, right?
Mm.
Miles heard the whole idea that we did with mixing doo-wop with hip-hop. So they call it jazz bebop.
Yes.
That's what jazz artists do, bebop. So Miles named his album the doo-wop sound.
Wow. Geniusry.
Love it.
So now he's mixing his bebop with my doo-wop. You understand what I'm saying? So what I did is not only created a sound in hip hop, Miles took it to another label and created it in jazz.
Wow.
And he took the word from what I told him.
So, AB, how do you go about just, having that pressure, having that weight, that expectation, and that adulation that comes with being the pioneer that you are? You literally created a sound that is now mainstream in a particular genre of music. How does that sit with you? How do you not sit back and just go, oh, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my life because I'm amazing and I've just done all of this already?
Let me just say, brother, I do sit back for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't have to work for nobody ever in my life, my brother.
And warranty checks.
I've been good, man. I made it where my wife don't have to work. I've been blessed, brother. I've been truly blessed, man. And I'm a big God fearing brother too. So I have faith, and I just sit back and see what I like the baby that I birthed, to see all these brothers doing it. Only bad part is they don't know where they got it from. They're doing it and don't know where they got it.
But I'm going to interject with that. That's your fault. Let me tell you why that's your fault. Because you have access to write a book. You need to start a podcast. You need to actually. You need to do that.
I just finished my book, and guess what's the name of my book?
What is it?
Hip Hop Saved My Life.
Thank you. So now, then, if they don't read it, I'm gonna blame them. But until you put that material out, who did it? And I'm being like this with you is because I believe of your legend. You know what I mean? You are legendary. But listen, a great story don't get heard if somebody's not willing to tell it.
That's right. And I was truly blessed to tell my whole story. My book just got finished. I got some publishers looking at me right now. Some big time publishers looking at me right now for this book. So y'all look out for the book and the movie.
What's the title of the book? And the movie? Oh,
in the
God.
movie.
When is the movie coming out?
We're working on the movie right now. I told you I just created my own film and movie company.
Can I be the janitor?
Can
I be the janitor?
Hey, brother, you can, brother.
Yeah,
you can. And the name of my company is called 3 Cinema Media.
3 Cinema Media. Okay.
Yeah, man. That's my film company.
You know my man Jeremy does voiceover, right? He's one of the best. So you know I gotta get my boy,
listen,
you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. I was about to tell you, he got the golden voice, boy.
I call him the voice. I call him the voice.
The voice, right? That's the voice right there.
It's just my
you got
gift.
the golden voice, man. Brother, I definitely would like to use you, man, for a couple of projects, brother.
Well, I am more than I'm more than happy to help out. I'm more than happy to help out all the time. But AB, I wanted to ask you about. I wanted to go back to when you were in the hospital, when you were encountering these medical difficulties. I mean, we talk about where you are now and that you can, you have the ability to sit back and kind of, admire the fruits of your labor and enjoy that kind of stuff. But when you had that happen, when you had that challenge pop up, what went through your mind? What was that attitude in mood like?
Man. Brother, first off, I didn't have no symptoms, right? One day I got out of the bed and fell to the floor I was dead weight.
Damn.
They rushed me to the hospital. They said that they thought I had a stroke, but I didn't have a stroke. They found a mass on my brain and a mass on my lungs.
Damn.
And they thought it was cancer at first, but they found out it was just a mass that came. And the doctors still to today don't know how I caught it, where it came from. They still don't know what happened, and it paralyzed me. And while I was in the hospital, I had sugar diabetes. I ended up catching sugar diabetes or insulin. But what was going through my head was, what happened? Like, I didn't know what happened. Where did this mass come from? And the mass was the size of a baseball.
Oh my!
And I did not know, man. I was just like, why? That's what made me write the book. I had to tell my story because when I went in the hospital, I said, God, if you get me out of here, 2 things I want to do. That is write a book and do a solo album. I just finished my solo album and I just finished my book.
Nice.
Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations.
And the name of my album is going to be called Gumbo.
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 Gumbo. And
why?
if you ever ate gumbo, because gumbo is a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of everything, man. It's a little bit of everything good is what it is.
That mixture.
Yeah, man. So that's why I titled the name Gumbo. And Easy Mo B is the title producer on every song. Was like but it's a solo album for me because all these songs I did with people, I never got a chance, even with Riff. I never did a solo project. So this is my first. When I was in the hospital, I asked God, if you get me out of here, I want to do a solo album and I want to write a book. So I just finished my solo album. It's getting ready to come to the world, and I just finished my book. Hip hop saved my life.
AB, you're not sitting back enjoying the fruits of your labors, man. You're working.
He's working.
Yeah, and I got my award show that's getting ready to come called the Motivated Awards for Medical Excellence, and it's also to honor these doctors because these doctors do not get no light, man. You know, the ambulance first responders, they come out, they save you, they take you to the hospital, and nobody never thanks these people. So I want to be also one of the first guys to thank these brothers for saving my life, and everybody having red carpet events. I'm about to have white carpet events.
Wow. You know what? I compare doctors to great producers. You got the loudest producer who probably have maybe 2 platinum track, record 3, and you got a guy like you might have 25 to 30. People don't heard of him, but the people who knows you, the bigger artists, the label does. That's why I tell people don't listen to the loudest voice sometime in the room. Watch the guy who's taking notes. Watch the guy who's Watch the guy who's just looking at it and say, you know what, I can make this kid into something. And I think doctors are that. People for producers, you have to go into the credit to know who did the song, right? For doctors, if the patient doesn't say he saved me, nobody give a damn. They say Mount Sinai Hospital saved me. It's never the doctor. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
They don't give the doctors props, and that's where the Motivator Awards come in at, because I want the doctors to have their families at this award show and be able to see what they've been doing, not just coming home and saying that's my daddy or that's my father, but know what his father done and how we appreciate him. So I want everybody to look out for the Motivator Awards and go to my website, votebestdoctor.com.
you got to get us involved in that. You got to have the Big Victory podcast, the Big Victory brand involved in that. We some way, somehow want to help with that. And also,
thank you, brother.
I normally give Jeremy service out. And Jeremy had to do the voiceover for when it's time, I can imagine and see how serious voice of Jeremy. Jeremy, give him a little sample right here about the award. Say the award name of the award show again, and Jeremy, you're going to say it. Go ahead.
The vote is for the Motivator Awards for Medical Excellence.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Make me proud.
Welcome to the Motivate Awards for Medical Excellence.
Oh! Jeremy, you sound like one of them great Adventure Six Flags guys that you tell people to get on the ride.
Right? Yeah. Sit back, keep your hands in.
Get on the...
Yeah. I often say if you need an answering machine message, I'll do it for you. AB Money can't make it to the phone right now, but if you please leave your name and number at the sound of the tone, he'll get back to you as soon as he can, or he won't.
Jeremy's that voice that make you pay attention. Like, oh shit, if you were smoking and you hear Jeremy, you straighten up like, oh shit.
Yo, listen, let me tell you something, man. I must say, both of y'all is the perfect combination, man.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Ebony and Ivory.
That's my boy.
Y'all the perfect combination, man. And we glad to be on y'all show, man. And we got a lot more to talk about, man. I know that we got a short amount of time.
Nah, you got about 20 minutes, buddy. And plus, you coming back with Easy Mo B. I know you're gonna bring back the crew. You're gonna bring back Caleb. You know what I mean?
JR. Yep. I got to bring JR too in Easy Mo, because our story together is just crazy, man. Right now, I'm just trying to skip, just go through stuff. But there's a lot of history with us, man. There's a lot of history and even like my story with what I went through. I really want to get across that from a person that got multi-platinum album to understand about being educated on health, man.
Yeah.
Because what I'm trying to do, because a lot of people don't know, a lot of music artists are getting sick and they don't even have health or life insurance, man. And we just think about, we made all this millions of dollars for these labels. But
I was about to say that. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna tell you what the label started doing after your time. These artists do have life insurance. They just don't own it. Guess who owned that life insurance?
The label.
The label.
Why you think they're giving the artists the guns and all this stuff to go out there and kill up each other? Because it got to be some life and health insurance involved, because too many rappers are dying. They're getting murdered. And this is probably a part of their contract, and they're signing and don't even know that they got health and life insurance a part of their agreements, man. But it's just messed up, because we need to be able to go to the doctors. We need some life insurance, man. I mean, health insurance. But this automatically should be, because when we pay our royalties back to these labels, they need to be putting up this money into something for health and life insurance, man. I know 20 rappers that died and they did not have health and life insurance. But that's why they on these websites, on social media, putting out all this GoFundMe stuff, because a lot of entertainers don't have life and health insurance. I had life and health insurance since I was 4 years old, bro.
Jesus Christ, that's good.
One of the themes, one of the threads that has been, streamed through this podcast throughout the music people that we've talked to is the same thing. If you're going to be an artist, if you're going to be a musician, and you're going to do it professionally, you have to learn the business of music. It can't just be the music. You have to learn the business side of it so that you don't get taken advantage of. There seems to be a much more of an emphasis on that nowadays than there has been in the past.
That's right. That's right. And we gotta study more on the whole thing about the music business, because it's 90% entertainment. It's a 90% business and only 10% entertainment.
Yep. Then I get to this question. Let's come into today. Then we're gonna take it back to the past because we got about 20 minutes left. What are you doing today? And I know you have a label. Are you looking for new acts? And what are the criteria you're looking for in a new act, if you are?
I just got a club, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just got a club. It's called Walk with the Legends. It's down in South Carolina. I'm creating an avenue for my era people. And it's called Walk with the Legends. And I'm bringing different artists from different, from De La Soul to Big Daddy Kane to Chubb Rock, KRS-One, Slick Rick. I'm bringing them to the South and getting these brothers to understand where all this music was created from. As far as the label, being my brother FX, DJ FX, is creating a whole label, and we're looking for just music, good quality music, brothers with substance, man. And everything don't have to be about killing each other and downing sisters. So we just looking for some good music, brother. We're looking for that good music, good sound, that young energy that can appreciate where we came from. Like, people don't know. Like, people, when they hear my music, they said, man, you remind me of the Temptations, man. You remind me of the Delphonics. I wasn't born when the Temptations and Delphonics was. I'm just showing them how they era, we appreciate their era. That's what I want the new generation to do with us. I want them to just appreciate our era music. If I could get a young kid that's doing real hip hop, that's the music I want to sign.
We'll be right back with the Big Victories podcast.
This podcast was recorded in Miami Podcast Studios. Call us now for booking 305-968-5366 for all of your video podcasting needs. 305-968-5366.
Welcome back to the Big Victory podcast, for real.
Caleb, as someone who is involved in the music industry as well, when you hear AB say that he wants the new generation, the next generation, to have an understanding of where their sound has come from and how it has evolved, how does that resonate with you?
Well, I sort of have an inside knowledge, having been AB's friend for some years, to know that what he's talking about is really not just the music, like the engineering or making of beats and recording and stuff like that. He's talking about the general culture that hip hop, the music, came out of, which has that warm feeling that became this global phenomenon of hip hop. There's many different kinds of hip hop, as you mentioned. There's hip hop that talks about all kinds of killing and all kinds of topics come up in hip hop. But really, what he says he's looking for is the type of music that people can connect with, that it is in a sense universal, and I think that's hip hop was just so warm and so appealing to the beats that just drew you in to get to provide the perfect context for you to hear this new form of storytelling and stuff like that. So it's not just the music that he's talking about. It's the culture that got to keep going, of that original culture where, it's hard to describe, but everybody loves hip hop and it's become a global phenomenon. And it's because of brothers like AB and his cultural, his personality, the way he's treated people. See, AB won't, it's hard to really get behind the stories with him right away because there's so many stories that, you know, he's told me, for instance, about behind the scenes of how he's put this person with that person and the interpersonal stories that go on behind the scenes. These big artists that are, everyone knows them as these major artists, you know, but there's these stories behind the scenes that talk about the culture of what's going on, the people who were looking out for people, the people who were helping the artists and the producers who were helping artists become, bloom, and blossom.
You know something, Caleb? And I'll get back to this. Jeremy, when I called Jeremy and I say I had an idea, known Jeremy for a while, and I know what he does. Jeremy's one of the best at what he does, and he'll tell you, like, before we get off the show, who is Jeremy St. Louis, because I think it's important, because I can foresee him doing some work with you guys. Now, I'm a salesman, so, you know, I'm selling my guy.
He wants to be my manager.
Yeah, I'm his manager, all right? He just don't know it yet, you know what I mean? But the reason that we came up with the Big Victory podcast, I think everybody thinking when you say Big Victory is about winning something physically. For me, I think when you win the aspect of knowing who you are or where you came from and definitely where you're going, and I wanted to bring people that actually can tell, not stories, but who can tell life experiences and express this in a way that the younger generation can understand. Like you, Caleb, I'm looking at you, but you sound like a freaking doctor when it comes to cannabis, hemp. You don't understand? We want to get away when people look at somebody and make that decision. Like say, oh, this guy don't know nothing. Anybody who thinking anything of you, they hear you, that disclaimer's gone. And getting back to you, AB, when I'm talking about Tupac, one of my favorite artists, Biggie and these guys, I'm hearing songs. I was never educated enough to go in and read the bio or go ahead and read the credits and say, damn, somebody had to put that together. You know what I mean? So when you speak, you're not only speaking to me, you speaking to the younger producer. Hey guys, make sure you get your paperwork right, because most people know about the artist, they don't know about the producer. To me, I think a producer is more important than an artist.
Absolutely.
So that was the whole vision behind the Big Victory podcast, is to get guys like you guys to come on there and tell these magnificent stories and tell you, when was your break? What did you do with your break? How you can get somebody else involved in it. That's why this guy is here.
Here's a question I have. Where did the name AB Money come from?
It came from.
Caleb's already laughing. Caleb knows this story.
Yeah.
AB, it came from one of my homeboys, really. It came from this brother named AD.
AD.
Yeah. And I was a kung fu fighting dude. Like,
damn, you did a lot,
everybody know me. Everybody knew me in New York as another, like, I kick your head off and shit. You know what I mean? Me and my man was known for kung fu fighting. We would fight everybody, and, you know, I'm talking about, we thought we was Bruce Lee and Bruce Lowe. I used to walk around. Think about walking around in Brooklyn in the projects with a kung fu girl.
Oh shit! Yeah, they probably thought you were nuts.
I'm walking with the kung fu slippers on. You know how thin them.
Yeah.
And I'm walking around in the projects that go up to like the 20th, 30th floor, each building, and I'm walking around, moving my mouth and saying the words backwards.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? And I thought I was Bruce Lee, and my man, he the one who gave me the name AB, man. He was like, yo, your name is AB, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just kept on to that name, and then a couple of years later, I added the money onto it, because I knew how to get money at the ages 8 and 9 years old. I was a dude that I knew how to, I was always about my own business. I always owned my own business at the age of 8, 19 years old, man. And real quick, let me tell you that story. I was a dude that was selling newspapers, and I would go to every floor in my projects and knock on the door with the newspapers. And I would go to the store and buy the newspapers for $1 and sell the newspapers for $2.50. But then I started
like
getting
me.
up. I would get up like probably like 5 in the morning and watch who used to bring the store the newspapers. So I did a deal with the people that was bringing the newspapers to the store, and I started getting the newspapers for 50 cents.
Wow.
Wow.
Businessman, yeah.
I was always a businessman. I owned a barbershop in Brooklyn for over probably like 18 years. And now I'm down in the South with over 10 stores making jewelry. Me and my brother was the guys that created gold caps in the early 80s.
You serious?
Well, and that's the thing.
Seriously.
Like I mean, a barbershop, dude, that's a community spot.
Yeah.
That's a community spot. That's a hub right there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the center of a wheel. You know, all the spokes come out of there.
So I have a question for you then, AB.
Hey, hang on. I just want to, AB, I just want to thank you for telling that story about your entrepreneurial spirit, because I didn't want people to think that you made your business by going around kung fu kicking people's ass for their lunch money.
AB.
Yeah.
Name, if you could, man. I know it's hard right now because the music is different. That's a question I wanted to ask you earlier. Name 2 artists that you actually is in your playlist. That's today artists.
Today artists?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say.
Go ahead, 3, because we don't want people calling me and cursing me out because I left them out.
Okay. I would say today. I like Drake.
Oh God,
like
why
Drake.
You say that?
I like Drake. I liked the kid that got killed on the highway. Mo 3.
You know what? Mo 3, quick story. I knew Mo 3 when he came out way before anybody out of Texas, because I have somebody I messed with down there out of Houston. They introduced me to him, and I was like, damn, this kid's so good. Why he didn't blow up? But kind of find out he had a lot of other things going on with him. It kind of slowed him down because he had a couple of record deals where labels didn't really want to touch him because I guess they foreseen it or they knew more. You know?
I love his music, man. I don't know what it was. Like, this dude was dope. He reminded me of us, of me.
He can actually sing. He can actually sing. That's the thing.
Yeah, he reminded me of me. And I just thought he was dope, man. And who else would I say today?
Tread lightly. Don't leave nobody. Tread lightly.
Yeah, who I would say today? I like what the baby is doing too. I like what the baby is doing. But I'm more with rappers and singers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like brothers that can show, like me, I can sing a Luther song, but then I could get street with you too.
So you definitely Drake. I think Drake. I joke around a lot with Jeremy, but I think Drake came at a time where it was needed because he really was like, "Hey man, I don't give a damn if y'all don't like me, as long as the women like me, and y'all gonna have to like me." And he knew that before a lot of rappers did. A lot of rappers was rapping toward guys, trying to impress the guys.
Yeah.
Drake was like, "Man, I'm gonna make your girlfriend love me, so you gonna buy the album anyway."
It reminds me of Big Daddy Kane. When Kane had this rough side of him, but Kane did it for the ladies.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And he didn't care what people thought, because you got some people to be like, "Oh man, he doing it for the ladies too much, man." But the ladies is where they at, man. I got a song called True right now out, featuring my man, right? And the True is about a lady that goes all out for a man. Not, everybody want to ball out on a woman. Everybody want to throw the money and buy the cars and do this for the woman. When they see the video of True, they're going to see a sister. And matter of fact, that's my wife.
I watched the video.
Yo, that's my real wife.
That is your video. Wife? Congratulations.
Yeah, that's my...
Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she's...
And yeah.
Sorry.
God, man, everybody say my wife is beautiful, man.
She's a beautiful woman.
And she is, I'm just showing people, my wife is in all my videos. Like, if you look at a joint called Too Young, featuring Big Bub from the group Today. That's my wife in the video. That's all. I don't go get other sisters. I get my wife, and I show people that is a sister that take care of her man and do everything, go all out. So I show in the video, she pays for my food. She buys me the jewelry. She just looking out for me. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to get across in my music. It just ain't every sister is about where the bag is at.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I saw a meme the other day that was a woman had actually posted it, and it was a meme, and it said what men think women want, and it's like some muscular guy with a 6-pack and a nice car, and then the bottom of it was what women actually want, and it was a picture of Chandler laughing from Friends. Right? They want the guy that's gonna
fat chubby guy.
They want the guy that's gonna make them laugh, and that's the thing. And you hear that all the time. A woman will tell you that, yeah, okay, you can have a nice car and all that kind of stuff, but if you can't make me laugh, like you make a woman laugh, that's a ticket. That's the golden ticket.
My wife is from Long Beach, California. She laughed all the way over here on the plane.
We have approximately
how long have you been married, AB?
Yes.
I've been married for 3 years, and I've been with my wife for over 8 years.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Listen, guys.
Yeah, brother. Thank you.
When we come to the segment of the show, we have 5 minutes left. This is the point. The beautiful picture. Beautiful picture. I want you guys.
Show them the product. Show them.
No, that's what I was about to get into now, Caleb. And also you. Caleb, my question to you is this. If I want this product, where can I actually get it from? Online, numbers. Give out that information.
Yeah, this product is really awesome, an award-worthy product.
I think Caleb going to show us his stash.
Oh no! You gotta watch out for Vic. Jeremy, you gotta watch out for Vic. Man. Oh man, you know too much.
He knows what's up.
Yeah.
Oh man, horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm always working, so I always got. Let me see, got this right here.
So in the meantime, AB, he's looking for this. AB, where do you want to take this company? Where y'all guys want to take this company? What's the next?
Right now, we've been on the phone with major doctors from around the world, and we've been talking to a lot of different people. A couple of billionaires, and we want to take this to a different heights of whole thing with the pharmaceuticals, because we're about to be in all of the Walgreens, the Walmarts, the Rite Aids, CVS, and that's what we heading for now, and it looks good. It looks real good. We're going to be taking our product into the pharmaceuticals stores and stuff like that, into the pharmaceutical companies. That's a good question. You can ask Caleb too.
Yeah, Caleb, have you got something there? Or are you still transporting bodies? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Working. I'm always working. But here we are. We got the products here.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'd be good if I could see it so I can. There you go.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, you got to send me you got to send me some samples, man, so we can display on the show, and definitely the logos and everything.
Worthy product here. It's a powder. It's a nutritional powder, so there's other ingredients other than hemp in there, which makes it great tasting. Excuse me, and it makes it also easy to mix into other dishes and other drinks and stuff like that.
No after effect, because hemp's normally leave an after effect after you actually digest it. When you take it in, plus the oil and everything like that. There's no after effects on that, right? Like taste wise.
No, that's the big thing. Usually, a lot of people are turned off by the taste of hemp, and so if you take like a tincture or like gummies or stuff like that, most of these products are made with what's called a distillate, or the form of the extract that is still in the bitter It still has the terpenes, right? And the terpenes are the taste and the flavor and the aroma of the plant. And so the distillate still is in there. But this is an isolate, which has isolated the CBG. And so the terpenes have been mostly removed. And so essentially what that is just says that the taste of the bitterness is reduced. And so it makes it easily palatable to anyone. You don't taste the bitterness at all. It's mildly sweet. The powder, you can put it in
How do they get
water.
a hold of it? How do they get a hold of it? Because I'm gonna definitely bring you guys back on. But what's important for me is to let people know how they can reach it, how they can get it from you guys.
We have a website that's about to go live any minute now. Literally, could be today, could be later on tonight. And the name of the company is Organically Medically Grown. And so our website is also organicallymedicallygrown.com. Any minute now, anyone can log on and check out our products. Our website's really beautiful and talks a lot about what React is, rapid effect activation, cannabinoid technology. This is an awesome product, and I really, it would need to get change stuff.
Okay. Awesome. Caleb, you're breaking up a little bit, so we're going to wrap it up. But okay, the website, organicallymedicallygrown.com is where you can get some of the stuff. As AB Money was mentioning, looking at getting it into some major stores in the next little while. That's the next step for this product, and it's, it's by all intents and purposes a great product, obviously a great foundation behind it. And guys, hey, it's been such a pleasure having you on the Big Victories podcast. AB Money, you are a legend, sir, and thank you very much for joining us.
He'll be back on
and talking with us. And
No
Caleb, man, it's great to meet you. I hope to see you again on the podcast, man, and all the best with everything, man. I really appreciate the information that you've been able to give us about the product today. Thanks very much.
Hey, let me say this before y'all leave, man. Y'all, if y'all schedule, let me know what y'all schedule look like by the 24th, man. I would love to invite y'all to the award show. Me, Easy Mo B, and JR getting honored for the Miles Davis, and it's the George Floyd Foundation. And I would love to put y'all on the guest list. Let me know what y'all schedule look like.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. I might have to snap Jeremy and bring the voice with me. I'm gonna definitely call you.
Let me come out, man. Come out. It's for George Floyd family. It's
in New York, right?
It's in New York.
So Jeremy, can you take a couple of days off? We'll find out. Definitely.
Yeah, find out, man, and let me know ahead of time. I can throw y'all on the guest list. It's going to be a lot of millionaires and billionaires there. So
Jeremy coming in.
Yeah. So it's going to be a great thing, man.
All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks very much for joining us, and hey, all the best and blessings and everything. Appreciate
yes, sir.
you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers,
right.
guys.
Having an awesome show. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Big body, bimmer. Y'all them love me, one fin me like then a big bulldog. 4-4, air trigger. Any boy this will get him head top, lift up in the push start. Big body, bimmer. Y'all them love me, one fin me like then a big bulldog. 4-4, air trigger. Any boy this will get him head top, lift up in the